Right, so welcome to the third episode, which is on trends slash how the market moves. These are all the really simple concepts, so we're just going to be as quick as possible. Alright, so the first little beautiful drawing I've got here, can you guess what this is an example of? It is an uptrend. I'm guessing that wasn't too hard to gather. Right, so why is it an uptrend and how do you spot when price is in an uptrend? So the way you spot prices in an uptrend is you'll have a low, you'll have a high, you'll have a higher low because the low is not, this bit kind of gets a bit cooked with, but you'll get what I mean when you see it. So you've got a low, a high, you've got a higher low. It's a higher low because it's higher than this low here, and then you're going to have a higher high because this high is higher than this high. Does that make sense? I remember when I learned this shit, because it just gets a bit confusing, doesn't it? The higher low, lower high, all that shit. There's just too many fucking highs and lows, but you'll get what I mean. So how to identify an uptrend? A low, a high, a higher low, and then a higher high. So the low does not break the previous low, and the high does break the previous high, and then you see it happen again. You get this high, it comes down, it makes can you guess it, a higher low, and then it's a higher low because this low is higher than this low, and then price comes up again, sweeps this high, and creates a higher high. Pretty sure, hopefully, I don't want to go too much into just saying higher low, lower high, because it kind of confuses your brain. But uptrend is just where new highs are being formed and the lows are being respected. So price is going quite clearly up. And this is don't think TradingView's having it. This is an example of that's the next one. Fucking TradingView is cooked sometimes. Right, so this here is an example of, you guessed it, a downtrend. It's just the complete polar opposite of an uptrend. That's all it is. Let me put it in the text there. Right, so you've got low, you've got a lower high. Well, you start off with a high, then a low, then a lower high because it doesn't break this one, and then a lower low because this low is lower than that one. And then price comes back up, makes a lower high, and then goes back down, sweeps this low and makes a lower low. Pretty sure you get the picture. So that's a downtrend. And last but not least, we've got the easiest one, and this is consolidation. And all consolidation is just when price is just moving sideways. It's not going in one particular direction. It's just barcoding. So it's just up, down, up, down, up, down. It might sometimes slightly break one of the lows, but then it'll just come back up. And it's important you spot when price is consolidating because you do not want to be in a trade in when the market is like this, because you're more than likely going to be stocked out and the price action is pretty bad. It's usually like this in well, nowadays it's New York AM session, but usually price consolidates in Asia session overnight. So we'll go on and try and spot it on the charts. Right, so I like to start on the 4 hour. It's very fucking choppy. So let me take these fucking boxes off. Because I did that last video and it fucked my chart up because I made a new account to do that video off, and it's just wrecked my chart. Right, so on the 4 hour, can you guess what type of trend we're in? Fairly obvious. It's a bullish uptrend, because the lows are being... This has been a very, very sharp bullish trend. It might be better to do it on a different time frame, but the lows are being respected. Price is just moving up. So you can see price is making highs, making lows, then it's going and it's making higher highs and then higher lows. So price is going up. It's a clear uptrend. So you want to be buying, you don't want to be selling. And for downtrend is the... So with trends, there's you've got the higher time frame trend, which obviously here is bullish. And the way the market moves, let me just quickly do a drawing. The way the market moves, so we'll say this is the higher time frame trend. So you've got some sort of target up here somewhere. So say you've got like resting liquidity or something like that. So we're in an uptrend. When you're in an uptrend, the trend is your friend. I used to have a mentor who used to say that you do not want to trade against the trend. So I'll write that down here. Do not trade against especially when you're starting as well. Just don't trade against the trend. Identify the higher time frame trend, and you don't want to trade against it, especially if it's really strongly bullish like this. So as you see on the 1 hour, we're extremely bullish. On the daily, extremely bullish. So especially when you're a beginner, you do not want to trade against the trend, because the trend will go hand in hand with your bias, but we'll do videos on bias later. But if it's a bullish uptrend, especially when you're starting, you do not want to trade against the trend. So on the 1 hour, obviously you come to the higher time frame to identify your trend as well, because the lower you get, the harder it's going to be to identify, because you have a higher time frame overall trend, and then you've got these little down moves here. Oh. You've got these little down moves here. These, you can call them sentiments. It's just where or retracements, but that's just where, if you go, you can see one here. So we had 3 hours of bearish, but that could have been news. But say this is just how price moves. So if you went on the 5 minute, you might look at this and think, oh, we're not in an uptrend, we're sweeping lows. But you'd be wrong because you're on the 5 minutes. The 5 minute chart. And well, anything below, say for your trend and stuff, anything below an hour. So that's just simply price retracing. So when you're on the lower time frame, which is the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, don't try and identify your trend / bias off these time frames, because this would show you bearish, but this is just like a sentiment where people are selling for a short period of time, but the overall trend is bullish. So you want to be buying, not selling, if that makes sense. I don't want to confuse you. That's why these simple videos are hard. Because I don't want to confuse anyone, because it is really simple. So I hope you get it. But essentially, price goes up, it moves like this. Price goes up, comes down a little bit, up, down a little bit, up, down a little bit. That's how it goes. You identify your trend on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, and you do not want to trade against it. So if it's a bullish trend, you're only looking for longs. You don't want to be looking for shorts and trying to catch a reversal. And the trend, it just forms one part of your bias, but we won't go into that yet. But all you need to know is how to identify an uptrend, how to identify a downtrend, and when not to trade. When you wouldn't trade would be when this is bad price action, well, pretty bad price action, which just accumulating. And then we'll go into the models yet, but it's accumulating. So I don't want to keep it too long, but this is a good example of consolidation as well. Just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So for your sessions, just get this sessions indicator, and it basically shows. I might do a little video on sessions. I don't know, but I just have this, but I know all the session times anyway. It depends what pair you're trading, but I will do a video on it. But I always trade New York session, because I trade obviously NQ, sometimes London, but it's got to be a good setup. But I hope you get trends, uptrend, downtrend, fairly easy to spot. You stick to the higher time frame. Don't trade when price is consolidating, moving like side to side like this, because that's bad price action and you're going to get stopped out. You want to wait for it to break out of the range and not move like this. And see you later.